Yo, what's up? This is Cameron from Born of Osiris. You're watching Richard Metal Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Bring you guys yet another episode of Richard Metal Fan Interviews, calling from Zoom, and I have round two with a good friend of mine, my friend Cameron Losch from Born of Osiris. How are you doing today, Cam? It's so great to be able to have you again. Thanks for coming back on.
Doing fantastic, Richard. Thank you so much for having me. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. I'm actually in the suburbs, to be specific. I'm in Lake Zurich. That's where I live. So I'm just in my basement right now. How are you doing?
Doing good. It's a little bit of a hot day. I'm here in like about northwest of Atlanta in this town called Dallas, Georgia. I recently moved like about 2 months ago.
It's called Dallas?
Yeah, there's a Dallas,
Oh.
Georgia, surprisingly enough.
Do people get confused by that when you tell them you're from Dallas?
Yeah, same. Because I remember posting something about it on Facebook. I was like, "Yeah, I moved to Dallas, Georgia," and I had a friend of mine from Belgium comment saying, there's a Dallas, Georgia? I did not know that. I thought there was a Dallas,
Yeah.
Texas."
Yeah, well, I'm just learning that right now. That's cool. So yeah, it's hot here. It's hot in Dallas, Georgia, which that's not a surprise. Georgia is always so hot every time I'm
Yeah,
there.
it's like like whenever y'all like play in Atlanta, I know Atlanta gets like the nickname Hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
No, no, but you're from like was the town you're in Illinois,
So
Zurich?
so I'm yeah, so I'm from Chicago suburbs, but yeah, specifically Lake Zurich. So I grew up in Palatine. It's the northwest suburbs of Chicago. So now I live in Lake Zurich, which it's only 15 minutes from where I grew up, and the band is from Palatine, Illinois. Um, so I kind of stuck to my roots, I guess, as far as living situations, and I stayed in Illinois, and I don't think anything's ever gonna get me to move because I think we're pretty, knock on wood, I think we're pretty protected from natural disaster overall. If you go too far to the West Coast, you're gonna have hurricanes and whatnot, or if you go another state over, you get tornadoes, and we get tornadoes too. But yeah, being I feel like we're protected from a lot of things being right there in the middle.
Yeah, but I know like in the where I'm at there's they usually get like bad storms. Never, fortunately, never hurricanes. I know the last big one there was like one up in near North Carolina that kind of like wrecked a lot of shit about a year
Oh,
ago.
that was horrible. Yeah, I do remember that. We were actually on tour when a lot of that stuff was going down, and thankfully we didn't have to cancel shows. But I do have some friends that were affected, and they weren't even able to. They wanted to travel to see us, and the highway was closed, their house was flooded, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I
Yeah.
can't make the show." I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, I'm sorry that happened to you. That sounds horrible." So, hopefully, these people can find some sort of relief and all that. I can only imagine. And but yeah, like I said, that's I guess part of the strategy for staying in Illinois is sure we have gun violence and stuff, but that's not happening in the suburbs.
Yeah,
Not
it's like
here.
it's like we're idiots for naming our country the United States of America. It should be called Crazy Assholes with Guns.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Yeah, but it's so great to be able to have you on again. So we got your new album Through Shadows, which came out not that long ago, and is absolutely a kick-ass album in the Born of Osiris discography. So how was the whole writing and recording process like for Through Shadows?
It was lengthy. I will start there. It was lengthy compared to other albums, and I think there were expectations and things that were not met as soon as we thought, and more like a lot of changes too. A lot of changes within our own camp, changes within our record label, Sumerian Records, um, and some of those songs I should mention were written during COVID. Actually, some of those songs are all the way from 2020. So it was a bit of a process, and I'm not going to say the album actually took that long. It didn't take 4 years to write that album. There's a lot of things that were happening in between, but it just so happened that was the timeline we were looking at to actually put everything out. And some people might remember we were putting out singles years ago, and years later the album comes out, and that was not intentional. Yeah, I don't ever want to do it that way again. But album reception has just been incredible. We're loving playing the songs live, so I guess it was worth the anticipation. But moving forward, I would use that album rollout as an example and what not to do. I would rather um, have the album come out a little closer to when the singles are coming out. I don't want to put out 5 singles before
Yeah.
the album's out. It's just too many, and it's kind of like opening your Christmas presents early, and then when Christmas Day comes, it's like, oh, that's it. Like you don't want to, it's like you don't want to give too much too soon. But I guess on that note, I should mention we've already started working on the next album, and I am
Damn
just
already.
yeah, I'm just floored with how it's turning out. I'm so excited. So I know I'm supposed to be talking about our current album that just came out, but of course I always feel like
Man,
I'm
you
20.
guys are like jumping the gun, man. Holy shit.
I always feel like I'm 20 steps ahead from whatever we release because it takes so darn long to release it. That's already way in the rearview mirror for me. But yeah, we have the Through Shadows tour. We're doing a United States tour. It's 7 weeks long, and gosh, is that hitting Georgia? Or are we
I don't
skipping it
think
this
it.
time?
I think you're skipping it. I know you came by. I think the last but I ended up missing it. I don't know. I had probably had some other shit going on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm disappointed that looks like we're not hitting Georgia this time, and it's surprising too because it's such a lengthy tour. Well, also we're not hitting any Texas, which makes me very sad as well because Texas is, one of our favorite places to play, and yeah, I got
Yeah,
for
home of
sure
the best
next
truck
time.
stop ever.
Yeah, oh for sure, Buc-ee's.
Yep, I was actually watching
Yeah.
a watching this guy, Sir Yacht, on YouTube. He did this thing about I think it was like a month or so ago where he visited every Bucky's location.
Oh, he rated every single one.
No, yeah, he actually traveled to every Bucky's locations in 2 weeks.
Wow, that makes me wonder how many locations are there.
There's 54 right now because there's three that opened recently. There's another one down in Savannah, Georgia. There was one in Mississippi that opened, and then there was one up in Virginia.
So Bucky's actually, with it obviously being an incredible gas station, having the cleanest bathrooms in the world. Yeah, we know all of that, but they actually have really fun other things like even like cooking marinades. They have a dry rub like for
Yeah.
making barbecue
Yeah,
and
they have like the
just
good brisket sandwiches. Those are the
oh,
shit.
those are godlike. Yeah, they're really amazing. So normally, when we're on tour, stop at a gas station. I'm kind of just like, oh, it's your run of the mill gas station. Here we go. Better use the bathroom and come back on the bus. But if we're at Bucky's, we're like, all right, guys, we're gonna be a little late for the show today because we're at Bucky's. Worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, and apparently I found out next year there are going to be more locations being open. There's like another one in Georgia that's opening in Monroe County that's going to be opening. There's another one in Texas, I think one up in North Carolina, Arkansas, and even one in Arizona.
Whoa, you know your Bucky's facts. That's actually
Yeah, that's
impressive.
fucking crazy, man.
Well, that's how I know you really like Bucky's because you actually memorized all those new
Yeah.
locations.
I've been to I've
There's
been
one
to a
in Georgia
couple.
already.
Yeah,
There's
there's
one in Georgia, right?
Yeah, there's one up in Calhoun that's like north of me. If you're like driving up from Georgia up to Tennessee, there's one up there.
Yep.
If you're going down to like to Florida, there's one near Warner Robins.
I think I've been to both of those because
I
just
have
depending on
two.
our routing. Yeah, I
I've
believe
been to
that. Yeah.
two in Georgia, two in Alabama, and one in Tennessee. So I've only been to five locations.
So I feel like that Illinois is like the next in line to get a Bucky's aside from everything you mentioned because it's like we're getting closer, right?
Yeah, let's hope so, man.
I can pray. I can pray. Yeah.
Yeah, but talking about Through Shadows, like musically, did you wanted to pick up where you left off after Angel or Alien, or with this album you wanted to try something new or different that Born of Osiris hasn't done before?
Well, we did want to pick up after Angel or Alien and make the leap to the next album cohesive and not so shocking. We also at the same time didn't want to make the same album twice.
Yeah,
So
unless if you're
there
AC/DC.
they made the same song 690 times. No.
Exactly.
But it worked for them, right? I just have a feeling that wouldn't work for us.
Yeah.
So we like to sprinkle in some things that might be reminiscent of our early discography, maybe some things that sound like our first album, The New Rain, kind of a higher place, The Discovery vibes. We added some of the fun, like electronic beats and breaks where things chill out for a second. It gets kind of vibey, which I think we first introduced a lot of that stuff on The Discovery, where we're incorporating a lot of electronics, and we made sure to sprinkle that stuff in as well, so give people something that they could recognize while still being actually a brand new thing in itself. So yeah, I like to call this album the Born of Osiris sampler platter. It's like if you never heard the band before, I think this is actually a cool place to start, where it gives you a little trip down memory lane of like every era of the sound of Born of Osiris, while the newer era being more clean singing, and that's something that we didn't really do. Ronnie has stepped it up and done a lot of clean singing and
He's a
stuff.
damn
So
good singer.
yeah, he's killing it. So it's cool. He's proved to be very diverse, and um, yeah. And then moving forward, I think for the next album, we're thinking of just going back to our balls to the wall, like ADD,
Yeah, just
insane.
get like pissed off heavy metal shit.
Yeah, yeah, and like not even thinking of choruses, or just
Yeah,
go back to like the very early Boo, where it's
yeah,
just in your face, completely
yeah.
unpredictable, extremely progressive. So yeah, we're experimenting. We, like I said, we don't ever want to do the same album twice. So for the next material, where I think we're gonna kind of pick off where it began and just give people like what the fuck metal, like oh my god, like what's happening next, kind of unpredictable stuff, high energy, of course.
Yeah. And what would you say like the overall like message and themes are for Through Shadows?
That's a great question. Through Shadows is taken from the song title. Through Shadows is actually the full sentence for that is through shadow light remains, and that's taken from the lyrics of the song Through Shadows. So what that means is through shadow, which means dark times, difficult times. Maybe you're grieving, you're experiencing loss, or just anxiety, or you had a bad week. Light remains. That's saying that if you look forward far enough, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's a message to stay optimistic during the dark times. So the through shadow, that's the dark times. Light remains. That means that there will always be a positive outcome if you stick to your guns and if you are resilient. And yeah, if it's about perseverance and just getting through difficult times, is that's what, and self-reflection as well. A lot of the songs are about uh, self-doubt too, and we all deal with some of that. Everybody does. So I guess it's about believing in yourself and trying to be the best version of yourself and persevering through difficult times.
Yeah, yeah, and with sort of like with that message, does that come from like personal no experience, or you try to like put yourself in that sort of mind frame?
Yes, it absolutely does. And I had very troublesome teenage years, my 20s as well. Just growing up, and school wasn't for me, and even just growing up like as a young gay man trying to navigate that, hiding my true identity and just stuff like that, and then falling into drugs at an early age, and stuff like that was just really difficult for me. So I experienced the shadow at a younger age than most, I would say. And my parents were great. I mean, I can only say that the best things about my parents, but nobody could really help me but myself in those times of self-exploration and living out my own truth. So there's a lot of confusion as a kid, and even into my 20s, and finding out who you are and what works and what doesn't, learning from your mistakes and all that. So yeah, my teens and 20s were really tough.
Yeah.
But music
No, that
music
feeling.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But music has always been the thing that's been there for me that I can fall back into, and that if I, continue working on it, it shows me a path. It shows me that the light remains if I continue with music. And yeah, I mean, I've since years ago cleaned up my act and everything, but I think it's important to remember where you were and how you felt and what the outcomes were, because it wasn't good. So yeah, when I was younger, I was definitely in the shadows for sure.
Yeah. And of course with this new album, like how is like the feedback? I think you already touched upon it, but have you been like pretty pleased with all like the reviews and responses from the album?
Yes, I actually have. And we're very proud of the album, but we also know that metal elitists do exist and they're all over the internet. So I was
Yeah.
kind of
It's hard to
expecting,
avoid them.
yeah, yeah, I know, yeah. So I was expecting to see a lot more of them coming out, but to our surprise, there were barely any. The feedback has just been overwhelmingly positive, and we've been really excited to play the songs live. The crowd's been going absolutely nuts for the songs as well, for all the new songs. And we are about to incorporate even more Through Shadows songs into our live set list. We're also going to incorporate a lot more songs from The Discovery into our set list very soon. I guess that's
Oh,
another topic.
like the
But
best album.
yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fan favorite. It's one of
Yeah,
my
same.
favorites as
And
well.
next year we'll mark 15 years of the Discovery. You got to think about that.
Oh, trust me, we thought about it and we're planning tours based on that. We're going to do 15 years of the Discovery touring in 2026. We're going to do the
Heard that here,
Discovery.
folks.
Yeah, so we're going to do the Discovery World Tour 2026. You guys are the first to hear that. And
Exclusive on Richard Metal Fan.
yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. And
I'm fucking
although
there, dude.
yeah, so we'll definitely see you there, and we have some people playing live with us on stage too for that tour that are not announced that people will be very excited about as well. So there's yeah, there's lots to look forward to. It's really exciting. So the Discovery
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
year anniversary tour
Yeah.
2026 World
Yes.
Tour.
Awesome. Fuck yeah. I'm there. I could see you all play like the Masquerade. I'm pretty sure that place will be decimated after you play.
Oh my God, I know. That's one of
Like,
my favorite venues
dude,
too.
I remember the last time I saw you was the Chaos and Carnage tour about 2 years ago with Dying Fetus, Suicide Silence, and Aborted. That was
What a
the fun
lineup.
show. And that was
Oh,
where
what a
we were
lineup.
hanging there. Man, I would love to go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, hopefully we'll catch you at the Discovery tour. I'm sure we'll hit Atlanta on that one.
Hell yeah. But talking about Through Shadows, like I when I heard this, it sounds a lot more very progressive and was that sort of like a preconceived idea going into making that or just like the music just sort of like led into that?
Yeah, I think we always try to maintain the element of progressive, but not necessarily with every song. Some songs will be more structured. For instance, the song Activated with Spencer Chamberlain from Under Oath. Shout out to Spencer. He did a great job on that song. But that's a little bit more structured, and it's on purpose because it's just supposed to be a bouncy, quick verse, chorus, bridge song. So I think it's cool, and I think it's important to show people we can do that. We can be structured. Not everybody wants to hear riff salad. Personally, I do. I mean, I love all the proggy stuff and I like riff salad, but not everybody does. So we try to have songs that will cater for different people. And if somebody some people they don't really like the progressive songs. They want to hear a chorus that repeats. So through Shadows, I think we gave them a little bit of all of that, where most of the songs are progressive, but some are a bit structured. So yeah, it's nice. I think we'll probably go a little bit more just the proggy route on the next one. Just so far in our writing, I would say. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so you're turning
nothing.
into Dream Theater.
Oh God, yeah, their latest album is so good too. I
Yeah,
can't believe
especially of course Mike Portnoy,
he's
fellow
back.
drummer back. He's back. Fuck,
He's
because I
back.
really
The
yeah,
goat.
my all-time favorite drummer.
He's insane. My God. So they had Mangini before that. Is
Yeah,
that right?
he played on like a few of their albums. Then he left, and then Portnoy came back.
For sure. Well, Mangini did an excellent job for, large shoes to fill. I actually got to see them play with Mangini, and it was mind
Same.
blowing.
I saw
Uh,
them
oh,
once
you
with
did?
Mangini. It was the back in 2019. They did their album Scenes from Memory for the 20-year anniversary. They played the whole album in its entirety.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
so
and this
cool.
the cool thing is because they're playing in September in Atlanta at this place called the Roxy. They're doing two shows because there was one show that they were supposed to do back in February, but then James LeBrie got sick, so they ended up postponing the show till September. So they're doing two shows in Atlanta. First show is sort of like them celebrating 40 years of Dream Theater as a band, and then the second show is basically this tour that they're doing. They're playing their newest album in its entirety, as well as like their song Change of Seasons, which is like a 25-minute long song.
Do you ever wonder how they can memorize all that stuff?
It's crazy. Like they're fucking gods.
Like, I have to learn two new songs of ours before a tour, and I'm like having a meltdown. I'm like, I have so much to learn. Like, it's nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
how do they have time?
I don't even know. No, because I know one of their songs is the song Six Degrees of Inner Turbulence. Well, it's kind of broken up into eight different parts, but the that whole movement is like 42 minutes long, which is nuts.
Jesus Christ! But they keep your attention, man. It's really amazing
Yeah, it
how
just
they
like
do that.
flows into one, which is insane.
That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. It flows. That's Dream Theater, man. They kind of like immerse you in their sound and where it's going, and then they take you for a ride. They are just majestic, and especially the latest album. I gotta give it some more spins, but it was one of those albums that I even on first listen I was floored. I was like, wow, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, they're old as fuck, and they're
Yeah, they're
still
in their
so good.
50s,
Yeah, I
50s
mean,
and 60s, and they still kick ass.
with all due respect, they're old as shit and just killing it. Like they're still so good. So
Yeah.
I aspire to still be killing it at that age in some
Yeah.
capacity. That's
So
really cool.
yeah, that'd be great. Because I still yet to own it. I heard I've been listening to it on Spotify, but I haven't bought it on CD yet.
Well, you have quite a collection behind you. Can you tell me what all that is?
Yeah, it's mostly I'll try to lift it up. I'm holding my laptop. It's mostly all my CDs right here. And you could see I also have a turntable, and like to the left of me, you could see there's like my vinyl records. There's like 500 vinyl records.
Oh my God.
And I have like over 3,600 CDs. I've been collecting since I was like 13. I'm 31 now and I'm still collecting.
That is so cool. So, of all the things in your collection, if you were, say, to like resell it, what do you think has the highest resale value? Is it vinyl at this point?
Probably. I mostly collect CDs, but I do pretty much keep it equal, but it's mostly CDs and vinyl sort of like number two.
Yeah. You can't find CDs anywhere. I'm wondering.
So I have to like order shit online because I used to go to like this place called CD Warehouse, which is in Marietta, Georgia. But since I moved, it's like a little farther. Well, not too bad. It's only like 30 minutes, but I just don't really feel like driving 30 minutes to and back.
Right.
Yeah, and
So
there's
do you think there'll be a time that CDs are treated as vinyl is now, where like 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're gonna look back and like it'll be CDs will be treated like, oh my God, look at that old CD.
yeah,
They used
especially if
to
it's
use
like a
this.
first press and stuff. Because you could tell like the side there's like that little black thing. It's kind of hard to describe. Like for example, I have a like the Dehumanizer by Black Sabbath. I think this is an OG press from '92. You could tell it has that black thing on the side.
Oh, rest in peace to the goat.
Yeah, but this actually had Dio on this album, but who was also a goat.
Wow, that is so cool. So
Yeah, and most of
I've
these were
also
my dad's, but after he passed, he sort of like gave these to me.
well, you can play his spirit on all those CDs, man. He
Yeah.
lives on. That's cool.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! But I know vinyl's been making a comeback. There's always like these diehard like collectors that would buy like every variant, like especially with all the like different colors and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting that VHS tapes I feel didn't get the same allure that
Yeah, I
Vinyl
used to watch a
does.
bunch of those when I was a kid. I would always like to watch those intros, especially for like coming soon to theaters back then.
Oh yeah, well VHS was my best movie memories growing up. Like I would watch Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Aliens on VHS. I mean, some of like Poltergeist, some of the first sci-fi and horror movies that I had ever seen as a kid that just were life-changing. Holy crap. But it's weird to me that like VHS didn't get the same respect that vinyl does, and why?
Yeah,
I don't, why
it's
not?
so dumb. Like I definitely want to get like a VHS player so I can go to like Goodwill to find like some old VHSs of movies I watched when I was a kid.
I love Goodwill. I'm there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's one not far from where I'm at in Dallas, so I gotta
I
check
like
that out.
I love thrifting. I can spend hours just hopping thrift stores and finding a new outfit.
Yeah,
It's a
I
lot
try
of
to like
fun.
find like some old Disney stuff because I try to find it because if you because of course with Disney Plus they some of those stuff they would like edit some parts or something because I know if you watch like the original like Lilo and Stitch movie there's a part where Lilo's sister was chasing seeing her and apparently Lilo was like hiding in original one had her hiding in like a washing machine or something but then they changed it to like a thing and had the pizza box open up because apparently I from what I heard it would taught children to like hide in washing machines or be a safety thing or something like
Oh
that.
my God, that's not good.
Yeah. So I have like try to like get like the ones that are just completely stick to it. Same thing with like Star Wars. Like they changed so much the shit. Like why? Like the originals were just fine. It doesn't need to be changed.
Yeah, there'll be like there's always this like remastered and all this stuff. Like, why?
Yeah.
Is that necessary?
Yeah, it's fucking dumb, man.
John
Yeah.
Williams did the music for that. My God, he is unreal.
Another goat.
Yeah, John Williams is seriously the best. I think he's probably my all-time favorite musician.
Yeah. But still talking about going back into through shadows, of course, with this album, you worked with KJ Strock on the album.
Yeah,
So what was that like working with him?
it was nice. We worked with him prior this album on Angel or Alien, our album that came out in 2021. I think that was the first record we worked on him with, and it was primarily vocal production focused. But he does so much more than that as well. He would add extra keyboards and stuff like that, and beats and things, and yeah, he's really just brilliant. So he helped us on Through Shadows as well with vocal production. We did some song restructuring with him as well, which was really fun. And I think it adds an extra excitement to a song when you kind of think it's done, but then you do a restructure, like tempo change somewhere that just adds an extra element of surprise and stuff. So that's what happened to some of the songs. We would give them a restructure, and I think it makes you more excited about the
Makes it more
material.
refined.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's cool to have another ear. I think he's a really nice outer ear where we've heard our demos a million times. He has not. He hears it for the first time, and we can get honest feedback and like, hey, like this part should come back. This part is too long. You should do this instead. So it's cool to help have the little extra feedback and knowledge. He's very knowledgeable. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and of course, on you have the song "Activated," which features a Spencer from Under Oath. So, how did he end up working on that song, and how did that come to be that collab?
So we just ended up hitting him up on Instagram, and he replied, and he's really active on there, and pretty sure that he does features for other bands as well. So we noticed that, and we have met Spencer as well in Florida years ago. I think he was at one of our shows, and we are just the biggest Under Oath fans. They were one
Yeah,
of the first
same.
first metal bands that one of the first metal bands I ever heard and saw live. So I was pretty young. So seeing that and Aaron Gillespie on drums is
Yeah, it's
huge
crazy how he
huge
can play
influence.
drums and sing at the same time.
The craziest thing, aside from him being so skilled to do that and not running out of breath, is also the cymbal bleed. in the microphone. You know how loud those cymbals are? To not have that come through the microphone too. There's a lot of techniques to do that. So wow, good for him. He figured that out too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Aaron is just such a powerhouse. He's an amazing drummer, and it blew my mind to see him live.
Yeah. He's pretty much like the only original member in Under Oath because I remember hearing like some of their earlier albums like Act of Depression and Christ from the Past. They were kind of interesting how back then they were not were more kind of like black metal kind of or more kind of extreme stuff, but then they shifted into where they are right now.
Yeah, their only chasing safety was I was into them before that. I thought they were cool, but then that came out and I was like, "Oh, this is almost a new band now, but I like it." It
Yeah, it feels like
was
listening to a
cool.
whole different band. I was like, "Whoa, this isn't the same Under Oath."
Yeah, yeah, that was a groundbreaking album though. I don't think anyone else sounded like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but then talking about like you guys' live shows, for me, I've seen you guys like 8 times, and seeing you guys live is different than just listening to you guys is on record. So, is there like a similar energy to also like playing live versus like recording, or are they kind of like completely separate?
Very, very different energy. So I would say playing in the studio is a bit more zen. You could just picture sitting next to some plants with your coffee, a little sunshine coming through the window, and just having a relaxing morning with your thoughts and your creativity. That's like generally that to me, that's being in the studio. You're now playing live is like your heart is racing. I'm sweating more than I have in my entire life. I'm making crazy faces at the crowd. Um, I'm nervous as all hell sometimes. If it's a lot of people, that never goes away for me at least. I get it feels like I'm like going down a roller coaster or something before I play. My stomach is in knots. I'm like, oh, I hope this goes well. Uh, so yeah, being in the studio is just very much a zen moment. Very overall relaxing. Unless I'm trying to nail some super hard drum parts, then I would say it's like frustrating and like anger at myself. Uh, but that's you know usually it's a more leisurely thing being in the studio because you can do things that you're on your own time. You can piece them together. It's not like we go in there and record 3 minutes of the entire song in one take. That's just not how we do it. So we do it in pieces, which is more relaxing. But yeah, totally different beasts. But I love them both for different reasons.
Yeah, and I noticed you also play with like a variety of different bands because I remember the first time I saw you back in 2016, you played with After the Burial and Era, which is pretty much the similar kind of like music. But then you also do tours with like Killswitch Engage, or just primarily metalcore. And then last time I saw you was of course with Dying Fetus, which is just straight up death metal. Do you ever notice like a different like reaction depending on the different like tours that you play on?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I find that more like the Sumerian core, if you will, audience. Like if we're doing a tour with Veil of Maya, After the Burial, Era, well, they used to be on Sumerian, but you know what I mean. That's like very much our crowd. Everybody knows the songs. They're all singing the lyrics. I did think there was a little bit of proving grounds for us on a tour like with Dying Fetus, where I don't know if it's just that their audience is a little older, but they are not as into like the gent metalcore, progressive Sumerian core, or whatever you want to call it. So I think we played to a lot of people who didn't know who we were. So while it was a good tour for us, I could tell it wasn't our crowd. Um, Still a great tour. People showed up, they had fun and stuff. But I think that there are definitely other bands that we could tour with that people are really familiar with our stuff. But that's the point in doing tours, is to play for new audiences. So I would say that's a
Yeah, possibly
success
gain
just
new
in its
fans.
own. Yeah, yeah. We did a tour with Ginger recently, and they're just amazing,
Yeah.
from Ukraine. And that was really good for gaining new fans. So we were the opener. We played very first, and Hanabi played after us, and then Ginger. It was only three bands, And I'm not gonna lie, I before we accepted the tour, at first I was a little worried, like, well, we play first, is there gonna be nobody in the room? Because it's so early in the day. I know Ginger is a huge band, but I was scared that maybe people would not show up till later. But we love Ginger, we love Hannibal. We said, yeah, let's do the tour.
Yeah.
And there were just gobs of people even early. We would play early every day, and it was packed houses of people, just tons of people every night. And new fans, we made so many new fans on that tour, met so many new people, and met a lot of new people. We would go to the merch table every day after we would play, and every night people were like, "It's my first time seeing you," and now we'll notice people at our shows and they'll say, "Hey, I first saw you guys on the Ginger tour," and everybody seems to say that. So that was a really good tour for us, for getting our name out there. So I want to do more stuff like that. And
Yeah.
shout out to Ginger for taking us out. They're amazing, great people, insane band. So yeah, I want to do another tour with them.
Yeah, yeah, but what would be like the one like band that you would love to play, or what one band that you'd be like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we played with them?
Oh my gosh. Oh, there are so many. To be honest, Dream Theater is up there. They're just insane. They're so good. John Petrucci too is mind blowing guitar. Um, Let me think. So I know it's not really in our genre, but I'm a really big fan of Muse, like Muse, and
Yeah.
I feel like they would be creative enough to maybe bring us out on something where I think they like to surprise their audiences. So you never know. Falling in Reverse, I think they're just doing really killer stuff. And I'm friends with Luke Holland, he's an amazing drummer, and
He's
Mark Akubo is
amazing.
now, yeah, Mark Akubo from Veil of Maya is now playing with them. Falling
Yeah.
in Reverse would be a bucket list.
I
They
know
bring
like DL
very
from
big
Acacia
crowds.
Strains playing with them and who also
I
played with Bad
know.
Wolves.
They're, yeah, they're a super group now. It's cool to see. So I think they're making waves. I shouldn't say I think. I know they're making waves in the heavy music scene right now, and I think it's a W for everybody when a band like Falling in Reverse, who's has many very heavy parts, they're selling out arenas, and I think that helps the genre a little bit expand just in general and make it closer to the mainstream.
Yeah. And of course, the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, your drum setup, because I think you have a very interesting take on drums where you're very rhythmic, but also have like parts where you do like fills and stuff. So I'm always curious about like what you use to play, whether it be recording or live, in terms of like drums and cymbals and stuff.
Well, that's the perfect question because I am sitting next to my drum set right now. So let me see if I can turn this camera around. I'll just turn it around myself.
Yeah, I could see it like right in the back.
So can you see that?
Oh yeah, dude, I love it with the aqua and turquoise.
Yeah.
It looks fucking badass.
So the finish is called Sky Blue Pearl. So this is a one of a kind by SJC. Don't mind my cymbals because I have it set up for practice right now, so they're all cracked because I practice with cracked cymbals.
Hey,
Uh,
that's punk rock right there.
yeah, drummers understand why I do that. But shout out to Meinl cymbals. Yeah, look at how cracked this one is. So
Oh yeah.
I practice with these because yeah, I want to use the nice ones for other stuff. But yeah, I'll show you the other angle. The pedals I'm using are the Pearl Eliminator red lines, and I love them so much. They're great. I used to use the Thomas Speed Cobras, and I switched uh, using a Roland trigger, and then the module is the Roland TM2. My interface is Focusrite, and oh yeah, here's my electric kit. This one doesn't really get enough love anymore. Can
Yeah,
you
it's
see
just
that?
yeah, yeah, I think it's what you use to just like practice.
Yeah, and not even. I mean, I still practice on my electric kit, but if I want to practice with like one person, like a guitarist or something, so we can easily just hear each other, I'll jam on this. But it doesn't get much love. But this is my favorite guitar. This is Kiesel 8 string Type X is what it's called.
Badass.
Yep, got another Kiesel there. This is my green screen, as you could see. This is the another Kiesel. So yeah, just been chilling here and recording all sorts of stuff.
Cool, man. That's a pretty cool setup, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And so kind of also like in the end to sort of wrap things up, what's next for Born of Osiris? We got the new albums out now. Now it's just anything else with some more tours that if you're allowed to say.
For sure. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'll say it anyway. January, it's not announced, but we're going to Europe. We're going to do a lot more UK shows as well. I know we have previously skipped out on the UK a little bit, so we made sure to include that. And yeah, we're planning a world tour essentially for the Discovery 15-year anniversary. We're actually looking at Asia right now as well. Um,
Yeah. Play every continent.
yeah, so we're trying to cover a lot of ground. So we're still pretty early in the planning process, but
Yeah. Yeah. Try to find
yeah.
a way to play in Antarctica. I mean, Metallica did it.
Oh my God, yeah, we got to do that. Well, we are playing Alaska, close enough, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like cold in the wet winter is shit.
So yeah, we're playing Anchorage too. I think that's in October. That's actually already announced, but on the Through Shadows USA tour. So uh, people in Alaska, show me what's up. I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
some halibut and chill.
Yeah, but thank you, Cam. It's so great to be able to have you on. It's great to be able to chat with you. It's a great conversation. It's just any final words you want to say to my viewers that are watching this to close this out.
Hey, I want to say thanks for spending all this time with us, and I hope you enjoy Born of Osiris' new album, Through Shadows. I also have a solo project. It's called Unsolicited. I released a new album from that a few months ago called Life Energies. So, yeah, Born of Osiris, Through Shadows, Unsolicited Life Energies. Lots of new music is coming soon as well. So yeah, USA tour for Through Shadows with Born of Osiris. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Hope you all have an amazing day.
Awesome. So everybody, Cam from Born of Osiris, and we'll see you next time.